Firstly, I think I should start with thanking all the founders who actually took the time to come here because being a founder, I myself understand how hard it is to get the time from each and every one of you. Really appreciate you taking time and sharing some of your insights. So would like to start with that. And probably I think there's a lot of people. I think there will be some of the audience here who are already like founded something, and also there are audience in the growth teams who play an important role in the growth of their companies. And then some of them might also want to be upcoming entrepreneurs. So some of the insights that we share will be really helpful for them as well from the perspective. Probably I think I want to start with asking about like what sort of the need or the problem that you saw, which basically you know starting from. Maybe I can start with I think Madhu.
Sure, thanks. And good afternoon, everyone. First thing, I really want to congratulate and thank the MoEngage team. It's a great event. I think probably this is the first the offline event that I've attended post the COVID. So the turnout is great. I was not expecting such a large turnout. So thanks, and it's a great event. So yeah, myself Madhusudan, I'm the co-founder and CEO of KreditBee. KreditBee is a fintech platform which offers financial products, primarily cards and personal loans for the mid-India, middle class, mid-income sector. Right? So that's what basically we do it. And you know, back in the days, the real motivation was that today each of the services of fintech is offered on the digital channels. It looks like pretty much of a norm. But 2016-17, when we were formulating it, probably we were the first ones to kind of offer the loans digitally without any kind of physical interventions and whatnot. So that was the drive where we saw a very huge white space in terms of banks and the traditional players not covering the entire of India. So there was this mid-India which was not being served or underbanked, and that's what we wanted to kind of solve the problem.
Makes sense. I think Chaitanya, you want to share?
Sure, I think, yeah, I'm a third time entrepreneur, the co-founder Ankit is a second time entrepreneur. And we had seen similar journeys of starting up something, failing at it, taking up a job, then emptying out our bank accounts again to start once more. And I'm sure everybody here can relate to those tough times. But for us, we didn't have any grand ambitions, to be very, very clear when we started. We said, let's try once more and see if it works or not. And back when we started, the very first problem that we were trying to solve was survival. But then as we became bigger and customers started trusting us, I think our ambitions of what we need to be for the customer also evolved. A lot of people talk about vision and mission and so on, but for us that came after survival. And for us today, the vision and mission is that we've all grown up middle class. We've all seen how many sacrifices our parents have to make to raise us. That means if you skip a holiday, you get new clothes. If you save some money for some specific purpose of school books or something that cannot be used for anything else. In such a case, can a normal middle class household that's earning as little as 30 to 40,000 rupees a month, and they build a nice home with beautiful furniture that lasts for a long time and that's affordable. So why should they have to sacrifice on not having a good home? That was the dream that we're trying to solve.
Thanks, Chaitanya. I think that's very insightful and Ms. Bhatt, you wanted to share like what we ended up having finding and start.
Interestingly, jar is ultimately the solution of the problem that I faced while I was doing this. I kind of the first user of the jar, the product that I was doing. So I grown up in India, where my dad, my whole family was going through a lot of breakdown multiple times. That happened because my dad was not able, or my family was not didn't write financial planning. So when I was starting up my last company, I started looking around what are the products, what is the market for financial planning and investment. I was the person who was inheriting these career professionals. Looked around the products, all the products currently in the fintech was targeted towards people who have a lot of commitment or motivation to get started. Most of the products are targeted for the people who are in late 30s. Most of the products are boring in terms of like most of the people are trying to give like portfolios, graph charts. All these we thought, can we build a platform which lets anybody who has a bank account, anybody who has basically a phone, internet on the phone, can get it started. Can we build a platform which ultimately let be used by a person who uses WhatsApp, TikTok, or whatever. That's all that's.
Got it. Arnav, you want to share your journey?
Yeah, so before I share the journey, just a very quick primer is that we run Leap Finance and Leap Scholar. We are effectively a platform for global education and careers. My journey has been interesting. I've been a founder, then I was a VC, then I became a founder. So sort of maybe I'm just tuned to thinking more of sort of gaps in the market and that way. So very frankly, like it was not, I would be lying if I said it was a problem that I faced myself. But when we are looking at different markets, we realize that this whole ambition to have a global education and career is growing very, very sort of strongly in sort of India and percolating down the middle class. And we realize that there's no brand or platform that sort of owns that positioning and does a good job of solving for them. As a simple example, like Indian students who are probably like all sort of US big company CEOs are Indians who went there and studied there, but if the next bright kid goes there, they'll be probably borrowing at financing 3 times the cost of an American kid in the same class. We realize that there are a bunch of problems to solve in a large market where there's no large brand and that will build it and go for it.
I think coming to the next word piece, I think today we talked about how it becomes more than mostly customer-centric. And it's just not about a what, but it's also about the need of the hour, right? And what does it mean for you? Probably I'll maybe start with Chetan. If you want to share what does customer-centricity mean for you, and also how do you align your team towards that customer-centricity?
Sure. As a consumer brand where people are giving their hard-earned money to furnish their homes, thus, for us, customer centricity is extremely important. Even today, I'm part of the Wakefit escalations process. I start my day with negative news. I chase every single root cause escalation and find what went wrong and how to fix it. And if we don't lose sleep on it, and we don't do it day in and day out, I don't think the team will also understand it. And then slowly it becomes part of the DNA and nobody needs to question anybody. It's just part of how they think. Because the single tenet that we follow is we cannot see a customer in data. So when a customer goes to social media and calls us a fraud or a cheat, or these guys didn't deliver it after they promised, just because it delayed by 24 hours, it hurts. But ultimately we try to solve it and we know why they fail. We know why they paid that hard, even a 24-hour delay will cause anxiety. So that's the reason we believe that every single team member should be focused on it. And that means, I think the biggest thing that has enabled us is rituals. And we have weekly rituals of taking one discontinued customer's complete life cycle and really understand. The objective is not to apportion blame or to find the problem. The objective of those calls is to say that can we, with empathy, feel what the customer went through and can we prevent one more customer from going through it. So I think rituals are an undervalued tactic to build culture within the company to say that I don't want to see even one customer fail. I think that is something to think about.
Alright, Madhu, do you want to share your view how you align the team towards that? I think that's the hard part.
No, I think we have a pretty interesting problem there, right? So we are, by essence, we provide personal loans and we provide cards to our customers. So what happens here is it's a game of acceptance and rejection, right? So we get this inflow of customers on a daily basis where we have to basically approve or reject for a personal loan. So automatically, the ones whom we reject are not supposed to like us. I mean, nobody wants to get rejected in their life. So so let's say my approval rates are only 15% of all the customers who apply for a loan, and 85% of the customers who come on the platform has a negative intent to start with as a programmer. Now that's one part. Second part, once you approve, you provide the loan and whatnot. There's a good 97-98% of them actually pay back, but there is that 3% or 3% is a necessary evil of collection practices. What we have to kind of indulge into, we have to do the collection of the money, and those guys are going to take it. Right? So if you look at that, out of 100 people, roughly about 85, 86 people are in a state of not liking us or in a state of hating us. Right? So even with that, you have to maintain a good social media vibes, and then the reviews what you comes on your apps, because anyone who comes on the app, he wants to read it, he has to get a positive vibe that yeah, he can go and approach and then apply for the loan, right? So what happens here is that because of this entire problem with which we are, it's kind of unique that not every customer is a happy customer from our end. So there is a very intensive approach from us to ensure that even when we are saying no, there is a way to say no. I mean, we have to give a distinctive reason. A very blank-faced no is not going to make much of sense. So then we need to give enough and more reasons for the customers on why this is happening and how we are thinking about you. Then it's more like your appraisal process on how you kind of communicate that what's the areas of improvement, right? So there's been enough and more effort for us to be put in from a company like this to ensure that the overall customers don't go with a complete negative feeling, although we are in the business of saying no, right? So anyways, we will talk more on that. I think there will be more interesting points from the other folks here as well.
Yeah, and also wanted to touch on another aspect of customer centricity, right? In the sense, I think Jar is a fast-growing app, especially when I see a lot of advertising and you're making a new video advertising. And there's a lot of data that you collect about your customer and understand, and to be able to kind of guide like activation journeys and so on. And that's also an important part of the customer centricity. So how do you kind of ensure that your marketing and product teams are kind of understanding the customer behavior and actually kind of driving the right engagement with them? Any thoughts on how you structure your team, how you align them to the right goals?
Yeah, so inside our team, I think we start with ignorance. What is ignorance mean here is we don't know everything. Accept the fact we don't know everything about people. Accept the fact, don't start with any other assumption that we know everything. The way we do that, if we want to do any problem, let's talk to the user. Let's see the data. Rather than being data driven, let's be data driven. I think if you ask deeply the fact, a user can tell you everything. User knows much more about your product than anybody else. So if you start talking to the user, ask right sort of question every day, I think you can figure out a lot of solutions in the form. The culture of accepting the fact that we need to learn, it requires a lot of humility inside the member of the organization. That okay, I don't know. Let me talk to you. Because most of the people start with assumption, most of the people start with that, okay, I know everything. It takes a lot of dig and change to say that. So I think we believe the fact that rather than insights just leading to the product, we started to know some useful insight by talking to the users, the insight leading to the product.
Makes sense. That's pretty helpful. And now I think you want to talk about like how when you have multiple sort of lines of businesses and how you structure your teams to kind of understand insights about these different products. And also how you kind of drive the total life cycle, student life cycle.
So I'll do that. I'll just before, since you were discussing culture, I'll just like touch upon just to summarize it. The primary question is like, how do you build culture in a team to sort of drive customer centricity? I think the point that Challenger mentioned, I think most companies skip that. So I think most companies, especially after they reach a certain scale, start looking at percentages and numbers. Right? So you'll say, oh, our NPS is 70 and we are very happy. Or you'll say, oh, percentage of users who actually move from one step to the other is 93% and you'll be happy. Yo, 93% is a great number. I think to sort of, if you want to keep building a culture of, or keep retaining a culture of customer centricity, you always have to sort of force yourself as a founder and a team to think about that one customer that got dismantled and why did that customer get dismantled. So it's not like, so when you're doing your reviews and your standards and everything, you're always doing top-down numbers. Okay, well, this percentage, this percentage, this percentage. Actually, you have to actively build a culture of looking at things bottom up. Why did these 5 people leave bad reviews? Why did these 10 people say they were not satisfied with the product? And to the point that Challenger mentioned, like it's also about building rituals in the company. There just has to be a curiosity to figure out why people are unhappy. Just as important as to figure out why people are happy. So a lot of that culture will be from rituals and what does the leadership show. In a lot of companies, leadership starts talking about numbers and percentages and waterfalls and because as the company scales, it happens. I think the best companies who are able to do who are able to retain customer centricity while growing, marry that top-down approach with a very strong bottom-up approach. We have cultures like talking to customers, so we have customer hours where you might be happy to get 5 customers in the office, talk to them, and get disgruntled customers and get very happy customers to figure out what's working and what's not working. I think that's how you keep scaling culture as the company. So that was one. On how we do it across different types of products. So we have a bunch of products. We have a tech platform, we have a fintech platform, we have a community. We organize, think of each of them as a company, which has clear metrics, and we make sure that in all of these sort of businesses, we are making sure that we look at top-down numbers every day, and we look at bottom-up numbers every day and every week. So leading reviews and all of that sort of is helpful. And in terms of how customers, like how do these different parts of business move, that's again very unique to us, so I don't want to sort of bore the general audience with the nuances of our business. But the idea is if you have done right by the customer in the first part of the journey, which is let's say the community, and people have had a good experience, they will move to the second part of the journey. So ultimate North Star is just make sure that people are very, very happy across different businesses and tasks.
Makes sense, makes sense. And I think you already touched upon one part of this, which is any additional learning that you want to share with the ops team?
So, see, as the ops scales, it is one of small teams. So, there's a standardization of the processes actually coming right? So, while however it's processes, there's no system to kind of keep a check on it. Maybe you start now, earlier stages when the teams are small, you have all the opportunities for discussing the customer problems, even at the low meetings levels, and then minor solutions and whatnot. The moment the customer base increases, your teams are larger. There's 100+ teams of the customer service team. There's the social marketing teams and whatnot, where they're trying to address the customer issues. There is a lot of standardization of processes and the systems to ensure that the standardization works. Maybe the ticketing system that you guys do or anything of that sort requires a standardization. Now, this is not, it is very easier said than done because end of the day, people are the systems and the process are the process of the system. So, it's a continuous training that has to happen. Right? So, the training has to happen not just from a viewpoint of a trainer coming in and talking to them, but also the leadership that has to talk and give the emphasis of how much important is to kind of cater to customer needs. Right? So, understanding the vibe comes from the top-down approach. The entire teams don't get the vibe saying that this is what they have to follow and whatnot. So, then it is a combination of the continuous emphasis on the customer centricity and as well as the system side, the standardization of the processes that needs to really ensure that we still care about the customer even at scale. Right? So, at scale, there are problems of these sorts which are bound to occur, and then of course there are solutions to make up solve for.
We have seen that there are two insights that you need to build this culture at scale. Insight number one is that you need to make their action extremely idiot-proof and fault-proof. You cannot screw it up every time. That kind of simplicity of what action is. Second thing is how is that action implemented? Small example is a carpenter goes and uninstalls a product to fix it back because there was a problem with that product. We need to do reverse pickup, inventory check, refund. So just that one action of the carpenter to say that reverse pickup is successful, it has to be a simple button, nothing else. But then he should know that if he doesn't do this, all of these three steps, what inventory is there in SAP, what customers refund and customer not happy, how the finance team will work, everything is important. We just need to tell him that if you don't do this, these are the three things that you have. It's not your job at this, but these are the big things that come without this point. So first of all, make it simple. Secondly, make them understand the impact of that point. I think that's how you scale.
Yeah, I think makes a lot of sense.
Just to add to that, just to round it up, I'm just trying to play the role of summarizer. I think with scale culture, you have to do two things in parallel. One is, like, as organization skills, you have to do two things. One is the culture, one is the process. Madhu talked about process and Catherine talked about sort of culture. Just unpacking that a little bit for the audience. So culture is essentially whatever the leadership will do and focus on, like will percolate downwards, right? So as a founder of a company, as a CEO of a company, if you are reading disgruntled employees' emails and you are asking questions, it will percolate. If you start in the morning and you go through what positive and negative reviews bring. So as a leader, you start sort of doing bottoms up, you make sure that you care and the culture percolates, right? The second is processes. So one is culture, and rituals are part of a culture. So you get people into the room, talk to customers, you do customer calls yourself, you talk to disgruntled customers yourself, which is something Flipkart did exceptionally well in the early days. Like they would talk to customers, see what's the problem, engineers would take those problems. So one is this culture. The second is processes as you scale, right? So the challenge that happens when you scale up is identifying people who are disgruntled becomes harder. So at scale, what happens is you only know if there's collateral damage and someone has gone on social and sort of blasted you. That is when you get to know there's damage. So as you scale, you have to build processes to understand that there is a problem before it's a problem. And the only way to do that is to make sure that you are capturing every micro interaction and capturing NPS at almost every level. And that's why, like a good example that a lot of people probably relate with is urban company. When an urban company professional comes, right, they will ask you for the OTP to start the process so that urban companies know, oh, the process started on time. And when they end the process, they'll ask you for the OTP so that they know, oh, it did end on time. So as you scale, it's important for you to have this data sort of infra, if you call it, or data sort of structure study, if you call it, to know that, hey, there was a problem. So first you identify the problem using that, and then you try to use models to identify which cohort of users is having that problem via analytics, and sort of some of your tools will sort of start coming in. And then ultimately you then try and see why this is happening, and that's more qualitative. So you build processes to identify, and you maintain a culture.
Yeah, I think makes a lot of sense, and you do that. I think coming to this part, I think in your case, I think you're trying to create this habit of micro savings, and obviously as an object, you use this more on one right. And especially you're doing this, and sometimes you get instant rewards. So how are you kind of driving kind of customer engagement in a use case like yours?
Yes, I think this question is very some assumption that most people are looking for instant rewards, coupons, returns right away. I think when you talk to the users, we realize that people are not looking for instant. That is right. They're not looking for instant returns right away. What they're looking for is a fun and engaging platform where they can start doing something. The harder part is how do you nudge them at the right time. We believe that we are not a fintech company. We believe that we take inspiration from a fitness company or a media company where you take the behavioral signals and figure out when to nudge the user. What is the right time to nudge the user. For example, let's say we have to start somebody to push to start teleselling. Now our data says, data informs that what is the right time is when the immediate SMS a salary being created to his phone. His phone is connected to Wi-Fi. And he has a home. This is the best time that our data is informing us when we get started. So we use those nudges by informed by the data to get them activated. So the harder question has been always in the organization that we are going to scaling, how to find the right time when they get started. We take inspiration from what Instagram did with filter. Filter made everybody better. The same way, some part of our product, which is round off, daily investment, one-time investment, is helping people feel that they are better invested while they are seeing that they are compounding the money is being compounded.
And coming to I think you have various touch points like where your customer engagement program, obviously your basic touch points, cost. So how do you create kind of this kind of experience where those touch point understands the customer and what they do and provide value information.
So in terms of customer onboarding or how the customer kind of finds us is only through that. Let's say we are an app-based company, so app is the only way, and then probably depending on the cohort or the type of customers, there are different flows. What a customer has to go through in terms of his assessment for a personal loan or maybe a card product. Having said that, the multiple touch point comes later, as in that since it's a loan product, there is a process one has to go through. Therefore, during the process, he has multiple issues, which it may not be very clear on the app flow itself. So therefore, he tries to kind of go through an email channel, or he kind of calls to the customer center, or sometimes he gets too disgruntled or impatient and then starts writing even on the reviews on social media or on Google Play review and whatnot, right? So one comes as that particular angle. The second thing is, as I told, so because of the kind of business what we are in, there is also a process of collections that starts, and people do get very, so not so happy with the entire process. If people try to call them, remind them about their EMI due payments and whatnot. So therefore, there are those guys also trying to reach out to us in multiple more different modes. Right. So again, it's a huge operation services. Probably there are close to about 1,200 plus collection agents, and then there are like another 200, 300 who are on the customer service. So the entire idea is to kind of give a simple, standard, uniform services. For example, there are a set of standard questions which you need to kind of ensure that the response that goes out to the company is in this particular standard format, and no more customizations to be done by each of the agent. Because when you make it personalized for an agent to kind of respond or put his own thoughts in kind of personalizing it, it may give a different message to the customer itself. Right. So for one thing, what we do is that while I talk about trainings and processes and whatnot, there is a quality audit or a quality assurance team that has to exist. That's almost like about 25 people team who listens to all 20% of all the recordings, each and every call or each and every interaction that happens with the customer is all recorded and stored. And then there is this quality assurance team which comes out, and then they hear 20% of the calls, and then they start putting out metrics saying that this was kind of, there was something called a zero tolerance error, ZTP or zero tolerance thing. So they bucket that, or they say that this was warning level and this was the kind of. So based on that, the agents has to be rewarded or kind of penalized based on that, so that the culture sets right and everyone starts to one way of trying to address the customer. So that puts more of a standardization in how we want to interact back with the customer.
Yeah, I'd like to ask one question to you on both teams. I mean, each of you, like in your plans, what is big goals? Like, how should those teams where while achieving the goals, not compromise the experience? And that's always a bit of a balance between the team, or maybe overcome the age, or push more marketing messages for the customer experience. But what sort of barriers that you put in your teams or your functions? Any thoughts from that? We also have some like CX person, like people barriers. I think probably like maybe inside.
Before I start, I think I heard a baby. To the baby, thank you for being here. And to the parent who's come with the baby, hats off to you. I think it's. Thank you.
Can everyone hear that well?
Am I audible?
No.
So I'll answer your question. One is customer experience, second is growth. So how we set growth goals is to look at both demand and supply. For us, there's always an angle of supply because we run about 9 factories. We are not a trader, we are not a marketplace. Which means even if the growth team is able to bring 3x or 4x demand, if we don't service it on time, there's going to be cancellation. So both of these have to work in tandem. So we spend a lot of time getting these two things aligned, which means growth goals are taken in conjunction with looking at what the supply capabilities are, the 9 factories that are there. And secondly, what the demand is already happening. Can we get marketplace data? Can we get Google data? Can we get Amazon data? Put it all together and digest it and say this is the kind of volume that's already happening. Where are we and what are the realistic goals that we can take? And what are the stretch goals that we can take? So that's how growth goals are set. But to keep customer experience as part of this is a deliberate choice we did not take. There is a separate customer experience head who fights for the customer's purpose. This person has the right to say that I want this product delisted in this pin code because the NPS and product health of this is extremely poor in that. So it's a category head sitting to convince this guy that no, I want to react to it. If this person is not convinced, either me nor Ankit can get that product back. This person is an independent voice and he will always find it. There are certain thresholds where by category, by warehouse, by factory, we have maintained this. And if the product has slips below that threshold, brutally that product is off. It just shows up as out of stock that day. And he has that power. None of us can overcome it. That's all we have.
Those business under planning.
Planning we do every month, every week. And there's always a 3-month calendar coming, where the first month is 95% accuracy, second and third month are going to be 80% accuracy. It's always a rolling 3-month calendar. And then to run it day to day, customer experience there is the exact opposite.
Like a general, just to add to this, the general rule is that whenever you set a metric, you have to set a counter metric. And because the first rule of startups is what doesn't get measured doesn't grow. The second rule is whatever gets measured gets gained. Right? So the idea is whenever, for example, if you're setting a growth metric, you anticipate that what will this lead to. This probably, let's say you give a growth target, your marketing guy might start reaching out to a lower quality audience. Not because of intent, but it just happens, right? So then you have to put a counter metric which could be, let's say, conversion. Say, hey, right now we see this person conversion to the next step, or we see, let's say, 30% bounce rate. So we'll grow to X, but our bounce rate cannot go sort of beyond, let's say, whatever it is, let's say 30%. So the simple way to solve for deteriorating customer experience while growing is always to put a strong counter metric to anything. Is it generally true for everything? And the second way to do it is to have very strong leaders. So generally, like the common trait you see is in companies where customer service is phenomenal, like Amex is the gold standard. You always see very strong leaders in those companies. So if you build a growth team where the growth guy is a rock star and the customer experience lead is a pushover, then you always have that problem. So you have to have counter metrics. If there's a metric, there's a counter metric, and both the guys should be strong enough to sort of hold their own and fight and work it out. So that's how it
Makes sense. Now I think we are almost the end of the hour. So I'm opening up for one or two questions. Just kind of wrap it up. Anyone has a question? Can you raise your hand?
There are a couple there.
Yeah. You can mention your name when you speak.
I have a question about your product. What is the demographic of your user? Like a general demographic of your user?
Sorry, who's the question to?
For Jar.
I think for us, anybody who is between 24 to 35, anybody who is the first time money maker early in their career, doing the first job or second job, is our user. Right. So we don't define the user by living in the cities. I was just talking to Chaitanya earlier that we are not the way tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3 like right now define, we don't go with that. We go with the what that person do, what is the financial trend of that person. We go with the what is the state of life of that user right now. Okay. So we start with anybody like we start with like 24 to 25 making first one.
Thank you. Any others?
Hi, I'm Anurag from MD, and I had a question for Chaitanya. So I think Chaitanya, I really liked your point where let's say there is a separate customer representative who decides to kill off a product. And my question here is that let's say you turn off a product in a particular geography. How do you then take a call to restart it? Because I think for a lot of product companies, they would kill features, but what's the benchmark that, okay, now this feature is good enough to be put back on the app or the service is ready to be offered again?
Brilliant question. We have a process for that also. When something has to be restarted, the category team has to come back and present projects that they executed to improve the metric that was gone. And again, it's a theoretical answer, saying that I found the root cause, I've solved it, so come please restart the product. So that is only step number 1. Step number 2 is we restart it only for a week. We start it only for a week because there is a lag time. People who place an order in those 7 days, their products are delivered after 7 to 14 days after that. So we do it for 7 days, restart it, deliver, measure the product level and NPS once more. And then if the data is proving the product is fully improved because of the projects that we've done, then it will get restarted permanently or it doesn't. And we have to go back and solve it once more.
Thanks guys, I think we are wrapping now. Thanks everyone for taking your time. I know it's how important your time is, and we look forward to it.
Thanks for the audience.